Hello everybody and welcome to FIF TV. It's me, Dov. A bit stressed out and tired after a wonderful, exciting match at the Stadio Meazza where Inter lost 3-2 against Juventus with 2 goals coming in the last 3-4 minutes of the game. Cuadrado and Higuain getting the eventual winner after Inter, a 10-man Inter, managed to come back from a goal down to be winning 2-1 going into those final 10 minutes, which we shall talk about in a second. Right, first off, let's chat about this ending off, because obviously Vecino tackled, tackled Mandzukic, but it looked like he stamped on Mandzukic in the replays at full speed into the game. I did not think this was a sending off. It didn't look like anything but a late challenge, nothing malicious in it at all. But obviously after the VAR review, the referee Daniele Orsato gave him a red card, and that was that sending off. And I think looking at it in the replay, in the VAR, what it was for, you can't really say it should not have been sent off, and especially after the images of Mandzukic's shin came out afterwards, and there's a big hole in it. So I think that was a correct decision from the referee. Some of the decisions afterwards I think were really questionable. The big one was Miralem Pjanic after he kind of kneed Rafinha in the chest almost, when he was on a yellow card, and he wasn't booked for that again. I think that should have been a yellow card, and Pjanic should have been sent off as well, as did Luciano Spalletti in his post-match press conference. Just said it was a yellow card, end of story. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who does not share that point of view. I think he should have been gone at least. But I think honestly that the sending offs, or the potential sending offs, are really by the by. I think Inter played fantastically well when they went a goal down, a goal that was kind of really, they shouldn't have conceded, if I'm being perfectly honest. But the way that they pressed Juve, they harried Juve with 10 men, it was almost reminiscent of Roma's match against Barcelona a couple of weeks ago. The way that they were kind of going for the ball, really putting in 120%, they were really going for it. And Juventus didn't really have too many chances from that first goal. Obviously, then you had Matuidi with his disallowed VAR goal, which I think was correctly disallowed as well. But I mean, apart from that, Juventus were quite lacklustre and quiet in that first half. And then in the second half, when you got Inter scoring those 2 goals, you could kind of visibly see almost Juventus being really deflated. They couldn't get control of the ball, and they found it really hard. But then I think the biggest turning point, or the turning point of the game, was the substitution of Davide Santon coming on for supposed to be Ivan Perisic, and then there's a bit of confusion. Spalletti said after the game that Perisic told him he was okay to carry on, and then Icardi came off, and Icardi looked really perplexed at the decision to take him off after the match. And it was a decision ultimately, I think, that cost them, because when you put a defender on like that in the last 10 minutes of the game, you're essentially telling the team, right, we're going to try and see this out, we're 2-1 up, let's try and hold on to this lead and take the 3 points. But they just drop back, and I think the thing with Inter is they're not a really defensively solid team. There's mistakes there, particularly with the fullbacks, and I think that was so. Santon, you can argue, was at fault for both the goals. He got taken on far too easily by Cuadrado, right? It was a deflected shot, but I think Santon should have done better there. And then Higuain's goal, Higuain should have been marked by Santon. So I think they're like, Davide Santon's going to be kicking himself tonight, and maybe getting some of those Mauro Icardi tears that we've seen after the game. Honestly, this I think was an opportunity lost for Inter, but I think you can definitely take a lot of positives from the way Inter played over the course of 84 minutes. I think you could really kind of say that the personality and the commitment and just the drive, I think, that they showed over the course of the game to compete with Juve and be better than Juve with a man less was admirable. But I think at the end of the day, you've got to be asking questions, A, of the coach and of some of the quality of the playing staff to concede 2 goals so late in a game where the opposition didn't do too much. I also want to just say a little bit about Sami Handanovic. He looked a bit shaky at times. There was one opportunity, I think, when Higuain went through, where it looked like it was going to be an easy ball for Handanovic to claim. He hesitated. Higuain should have scored. That was in the second half, as Juve kind of started to get into a bit more. So I think obviously you're definitely going to say that as 3 points lost for Inter. And I think another thing before I finish, the big thing is that the mental aspect of a win like that at the San Siro in front of a sold out crowd, 78,000 people. The atmosphere was magnificent, great choreography as always. A win like that is a win that can galvanise a team to a Scudetto. I think we can all forget that everything's in Juventus' hands. If they win all their games, they're the champions. So basically Napoli fans and anybody that wants a different winner are counting on Juventus to slip up. And it looks like the only time they're going to do that is when they go and visit Roma. But I think a win like this can really see a team over the line and kind of give them that kind of short-term mental boost that they'll need in the next 3 rounds. So there we go. What did you think? Penalties, not penalties? Should the referee be sacked for not sending Pjanic off? Should he be sacked for sending Vecino off? Leave us a wee comment below. Obviously subscribe to the channel and all that, and remember we've got a little shop, so check that out. That is also in the description as well. So until tomorrow, where I shall be in Florence for Fiorentina Napoli, where they'll probably lose, so until then there's nothing left for me to say apart from arrivederci.